everybody? Welcome to Season 2, Episode 5 of Campus Gridiron. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a long episode for you today. We're going to get into Week 4, all of that good stuff. Sorry we had to push this back until Friday, but we were able to film before Saturday, and I guess that's all that really matters, so our predictions will not be irrelevant. Ain't that right, Lennon?
Yeah, dude, we got Nebraska and Illinois at 8, so we're gonna
at 8. So if you guys are
time.
watching this live, you probably won't know our predictions until tomorrow. But before we kick in, I personally have a special announcement to make. Hold the applause. Hold the applause. We will be sideline reporting tomorrow afternoon just off the campus of Dean College at Longley Athletic Complex for your GNAC Week 3 action. Curry College against Dean College. Of course, I attend Dean. I'll be the sideline reporter. We have a great broadcasting group ready for tomorrow. Hopefully the broadcast goes well. Hopefully I get a couple of nice interviews. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I know we only cover Division I college football, even though I do attend a Division III school. But this game will be on ESPN Plus at 12 o'clock tomorrow. I'll also be posting clips on social media, so no worries if you can't watch it. But if you want to support me and my college, greatly appreciated there.
Damn, man, you would have to play during the Florida game. Damn, that's awesome though, bro. Congratulations. I might have to go back and watch the game then. If Mississippi State starts blowing out Florida, I'll definitely tune in.
Oh yeah, for sure. How do you even have the confidence in Florida? 1-2. I mean, we're gonna get into that, but they're 1-2, and they are a bad 1-2. But in
all kinds of weather, and we're in a hurricane category 5 right in the eye. But if Toledo can go into Starkville and put up 42, we can go. No, you know what? I'm gonna wake up, watch College Game Day, and watch the Gators. Hopefully, beat the Bulldogs.
Hopefully, but it could be worse because we could be 0-3. So I think we'll take the 1-2.
Oh man, this just first of all, Florida State this year is going to be on Comedy Central at like 12 o'clock. This game should be played on a Thursday night with no prime time coverage. Yeah, dude, I'm never been more excited. There, but it could be worse. Florida State's going to be interesting this year, but you know how it goes.
It's an egregious type of interesting.
Yes,
you're interested in watching them because you want to see them fail.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I just Monday. I rewatched the Memphis Florida State game on TV and laughed every single second of it. It kind of made me feel better about Florida losing the A&M. So, but yeah, they're gonna they're gonna lose to California this week too. Like we don't have that in our games of the week.
We don't have that in our games of the week because Florida State is so garbage to even be mentioned at this point. Also, Cal is 3-0. We'd be very shocked if Cal dropped that one. Low-key, them benefiting – actually, them going to the ACC has actually benefited them so far, something I did not think was going to happen. So, shout out to Cal for starting the year up 3-0.
They beat Auburn 21-7. or 21 to 14.
They could be in rank watch in a couple of weeks here, especially if one of those teams that already have suffered a loss goes down to 2 losses. You could see Cal kind of sneak in that top 20 spot. So Cal will be interesting as the season goes along here. Another game that obviously grasped all our attention, funny enough, is another undefeated team out of the ACC, and that is Pitt. Raise of hands, who thought Pitt was starting the season 3-0? You can put them down now. Because, wow, them in West Virginia had a shootout. I couldn't believe it.
The good old backyard brawl, baby. That game is always really fun and really close. Pitt being 3-0, like something that's Pitt. If you told me over the offseason that Florida State would be 0-3 and Pitt would be 3-0, I probably would have said you were crazy. Now I would have hoped that it would be true, and it is true, but yeah, that's just insane. I'm good for Pitt though, man. I mean, they've been the laughing stock of the ACC with Georgia Tech, and they both look all right this year. So nobody's beating Miami, but
Louisville's got a shot. You never know.
Yeah, true. Never know. But yeah, good for Pitt.
Quarterback Eli Holstein, 301 yards, led a game-winning drive, threw 3 touchdowns. I mean, yeah. And this is a week after coming back from 3 possessions down to beat Cincinnati on the road. This Pitt team is scary.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I haven't watched any other games, but just based on the clips and highlights I've seen, they look pretty damn good. So, see, who do they got this week? That
offense is definitely not a slouch. That is for sure. They're going to make any game interesting. They've shown they could come back from behind on multiple occasions. Pitt this week is at home with a whopping 92.5% chance of beating Youngstown State.
Okay. I'm going to take the Panthers in now.
We'll just say automatic game alert tomorrow if Youngstown State ends up winning that game.
They played North Carolina after a bye week, so that's going to be interesting.
The game's going to be in Tar Heels County, so
your little Chapel Hill.
I guess that'll be Pittsburgh's first test to determine whether they're legit or not.
Yeah, I'm more worried about North Carolina and James Madison, but yeah, let's go. It's okay.
A friend who goes to James Madison. Shout out to them. All right, let's rip the Band-Aid off. This one sucked. As obviously Boston College fan, I've really been paying attention to the program since 2020. First time we've been ranked in a while. Or at least a ranking that actually made sense. They didn't just throw us in like the 25th spot just to say, hey, we're running out of people. Nah, man. Legitimate threat, was up 14-3, and man, Missouri just locked up on defense. I credit their coaching staff. They adjusted. Castellanos had a god-awful second half until Boston College's last drive where he threw his 3rd touchdown of the day. They played fine. They only lost by 1 possession. Realistically, they got outplayed all second half. I pretty much knew once Missouri was up 17-14 at halftime, coming back and having that 14-point swing near the end of the first half, I kind of sensed it was over. But, you got to give credit where credit's due. And again, this is where having a head coach like Bill O'Brien keeps you in games. And one of my Instagram followers this week was saying, don't be discouraged, because they should obviously not only beat Michigan State this weekend and go to 3-1, but he believes that even though they have a loss on their schedule already, they are more serious than undefeated teams like Syracuse and Illinois. So that took me to shock that he thinks that. But, I mean, realistically, Boston College, they played well. And if they continue to play well, whether they're ranked or not, they're going to be taken seriously. And for the first time in God knows how long, they're going to be a part of a very important bowl game.
Oh yeah, this loss is nothing to hang your head about. Like this, like you got like we all. I was rooting for Boston College. Because I personally don't think Missouri is a top 5 team. They're a top 10 team. I don't think they're a top 5 team. But again, it's all about experience. And Missouri plays in the SEC. They took Georgia all the way to the fourth quarter last year and should have won that game probably. Missouri is a good team, and they're coaching. You guys got out-coached, and that's exactly what happened with USC and LSU in week 1. But you guys I don't know which of your followers said that, but whoever said that, they're correct. I think you guys are going to be, you'll beat whoever you see at Michigan State this week.
Yep. Michigan State at home, game, 8 p.m. prime time on the ACC network.
I'll check that out.
Baby. Let's go to 3-1. It is nice to be above 500. Well, one of my teams is nice to be above 500 anyways. Goodness gracious.
Tell me about it. But no, you guys are good. Boston College is a good team. I watched the Florida State game. I watched part of this game. You guys are all right. It was just simply
this
experience.
Isn't a demoralizing loss by any means. If they continue,
this is like
because I think if you could play well against a 6th ranked team in football, you could pretty much hang with anybody at this point. This was the hardest game you had on your schedule. Yeah, I don't know how, but Boston College lucked out and they don't have to play Miami during the regular season. I don't know how they lucked out of that.
Yeah. And who knows if you get that might be that.
Take it one game at a time, but if you don't slip up and you head into the last month of the season with a loss or 2, you're going to be taken as a serious threat. So,
yeah. And I'm going to tell you the same thing we told Drew last week. South Florida taking Bama to the fourth quarter down by 1 is a huge victory, no matter what the final score was.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you guys taking the number 6th ranked team and do a good game and only losing by 6 or 7. Like, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Confident. I was rooting for you because I can't stand Missouri, but but it was all about experience, and Missouri has more experience. But you guys got going. I wouldn't say a cupcake because Michigan State can definitely sneak up on you.
Oh no, it's not a cupcake. I mean, they got Syracuse left on the road. Yeah. They have North Carolina, Pitt. Yeah. I think someone else down there. I think they also play Louisville at one point.
Yeah, so it's definitely not.
Pretty much after Michigan State and the game against Western Kentucky in a couple of weeks, like the schedule ramps right back up. So you got to take advantage of these weaker teams.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I will probably be watching the NASCAR Cup Series playoff race from Bristol instead of your game. But we'll take a look. We'll keep an eye on it for sure. But
yeah, and then watch Michigan State win by 30, and then Boston College is going to go back to old Boston College.
Nah, you guys are straight. I would pick Boston College to win that game if we were picking the game.
And moving on to the last game of the last week, we'll recap. God damn it, Kentucky. You are so close. 13-12 loss at home. Man, when I was watching the first half of that game, it felt like the freaking stadium pulse in college football. It was up all the way throughout the entire first half. The crowd was rocking. Lennon, you were correct. These uniforms did not disappoint me either. But holy crap, did the offense fall apart, and they just sleptwalked throughout the entire second half. I mean, Carson Beck looked human. The run game looked human. It looked like Kirby Smart's finally going to get his comeuppance. They're playing down to competition on the road in primetime. And what does Michigan do? What does Kentucky do? Not show up on offense. Crazy. It was crazy how anemic this offense was, regardless of whether they're playing against a top 5 defense in college football or not. 12 points? Really?
Oh yeah, and again, I've told you the only thing that would make those Kentucky uniforms better is this chrome helmet. But I'll take what I can get. Listen, bro, Florida fan here. I absolutely hate Kentucky, and I absolutely hate Georgia. But damn it, I was a Wildcat fan for 4 quarters on last Saturday night. I fell asleep. It was 13-12 Georgia, like late in the fourth, and I woke up to the final score being 13. So I said, "No, Kentucky's so close." And Georgia still has to play at Tuscaloosa and Texas coming up. So let's keep that in. Georgia's going to have some losses coming up, but good for. It's amazing how Kentucky can look like garbage against South Carolina and then almost take the number one team at the time, almost beat the number one team at the time. But that's college football, and that's why we watch. But yeah, Georgia and Alabama regular season coming up pretty soon. That's going to be a game to talk about. And they got Texas still. They have Florida, who yeah, but
Trap game. Hey, they always played in Jacksonville. No one really has home field advantage for that.
Listen, I'll say one thing about Florida. We are going to win a game we're not supposed to. We're going to beat either Georgia, Texas, Ole Miss, or LSU. One of those. We're going to win a game we're not supposed to, and I really hope it's Georgia or Texas. I would love to beat Texas, and in Texas that would be. Well, that's not going to happen. But Florida will win a game we're not supposed to win. I'm going to say that.
I think Ole Miss is the best shot because even though we all literally predicted Jackson Dart to win the Heisman, and don't get me wrong, he's definitely in the top 5 conversation right now. But also, Ole Miss has had such an anemic schedule. Like you got to take that into consideration a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But damn, Kentucky almost. Georgia.
Cigar. Yeah. Screw you for losing, but almost.
Yeah, almost. Georgia's gonna lose the game this year.
Maybe
more than one.
I think since they lost that bowl game to Alabama, they're kind of walking on eggshells a little bit.
Now this schedule,
they're invincible a little bit.
Yeah, the schedule's tougher than last year, so it wouldn't surprise me if we see the Bulldogs lose in a few games down the road. But I don't know who they have this week. But
Georgia, not that matters. They're gonna win anyway.
Are they though? Let's see.
I mean, let's see here. They are playing. Oh, it'll be fantastic if it actually popped up when you type in Georgia Bulldogs football.
I think they're on a bye week.
Oh, yes, they are. They're on their bye week. Next game.
And then Bama.
The Alabama at Alabama. Now,
that is
the game we'll highlight next week.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Bro, they literally have Georgia playing freaking UMass.
Yeah. They have Georgia has Bama, Auburn, Mississippi State, Texas, Florida, Ole Miss, Tennessee to end the SEC schedule. That's tough. I mean, they're going to beat this out of us. But other than that,
Texas and Tennessee.
Ole Miss and Tennessee back to back.
I see losing. I see them losing to Texas. Wouldn't be shocked if they lost to Tennessee. Ole Miss maybe pulls it off, but I don't think so.
Yeah,
Lane Kiffin typically that's usually a game where Lane Kiffin will get out coached. But
yeah,
hey, we shouldn't even talk about that game for another 2 months when it happens, right?
Yep, right. That's good.
I take it week by week. You never know. Maybe Georgia looks fraudulent this week, and we're talking about a whole different story.
Yeah.
So let's get into our, week 4 headlines. So the Gators did not take our advice. They took Drew's advice, not ours. We'll just word it that way. They gave Mertz a quarter. He stunk. Texas A&M was up by 2 possessions. And then they put in Lagway for the rest of the game. Played all right in the fourth quarter, but not really impressed. Of course, the game did get interrupted by about 45-50 minutes with a lightning delay. That didn't help or kill any momentum this game was going. Texas A&M was winning in a rout regardless. It looked like regardless of the stoppage. And again, Mertz has played against 2 ranked teams. Struggled in both games, but he has played 2 ranked teams. All I'm going to say.
Oh, man. Life is rough over in the Swamp Bay. I have I'll be at every home game till I can't take it anymore.
Look at halftime. You are nuts. I would never once leave a game at halftime, regardless of how bad it is.
First of all, it was hot, humid, and I was soaking wet, and I was not about to watch that mediocre performance. Okay, I am sorry.
Big fan right here, guys. He's only been a fan since 2009. Call him fake. What? Anyways.
No, I've been going to games since 2009. I was born into this, but it's just like this is exactly what I thought would happen if they did the 2 quarterback thing. What happened? Same thing. It's not, our problem isn't behind the center. It's the offensive line. And it's been the O-line for 4 years in a row now. I'm so sick of this crap. I'm so over this. I'm done. I am ready for a new coach. Like, it's just ridiculous, man. Like, we're going to finish out the year. We got Mississippi State. They're honest to God, there is no reason we should lose to the Bulldogs tomorrow. No reason. But you know what? We'll probably find a way to, because that's what we do. I don't want to see the 2 quarterback system. I hate the 2 quarterback system. I hated it in 2021 with Emory Jones and Anthony Richardson, and I hate it with Graham Mertz and DJ Lagway. Why are we putting Lagway in a position to fail this early on in his career? Why? We know, we knew I think Tebow said it best on SEC Nation Saturday morning. I'm gonna mess it up, but what did he say? He said DJ Lagway is not going to be ready for the 3rd down defenses that Mike Elko calls for A&M, and he's true. It's right. He's not. Why are we putting our true freshman star quarterback in a position to fail this early on? Do you know what that does to his confidence when he threw the interception in the first half, right, in the end zone? Like, that's just going to kill his confidence. He's not ready. He balled out against Stanford. I could have thrown for 400 yards against Stanford. Like, come on, guys. It's not the quarterback's fault. Is Mertz struggling? Yes, but it's hard to play good when you have
theoretically not finished in both of his starts. He is not finished.
And it's not. Well, he got hurt in the Miami
he played 2 ranked teams.
Yeah, so it's not. The quarterback is not the problem. Wide receiver is not the problem. It's defense and O-line. It's been the same problem for 4 years in a row.
And, of course, this goes without saying, but if the Gators were already out of sync on offense, Eugene Wilson will be inactive for tomorrow's game. I know, Lennon, that's your favorite. Again, just another reason to just start Mertz. Don't shatter Lagway's confidence. You can't. At this rate, his confidence is vital. He's got his in-game experience, and he's got the starting job if Mertz is injured or is throwing 5 interceptions a game. But until that happens, Mertz needs to be the starter. We've been saying this for the last 2 weeks. Get the experienced guy. Get the senior. This is a senior quarterback, by the way. He's not even going to be here next year. And not only bro, NFL scouts probably think Graham Mertz is a freaking joke now. All because the Gators coaching staff doesn't know what they're doing. They're literally Emory Jonesing this man, and it's pissing me off.
It is. I will say it worked. It worked out at the end for Anthony Richardson, who got drafted by the Colts in the 1st round, and who I'm really rooting for this year. But you can't. Lagway is people forget he's a true freshman. Okay, true freshman. Why would you put your star freshman quarterback in a position to fail, break his confidence down, and then he's not going to be okay. One game does not. Mertz could have thrown for 400 yards against Stanford. Grant could have. Hell, even a even a middle school girl could have thrown for 400 yards against Stanford.
That's
Like,
crazy.
come on, man. It's not. We're gonna ride this season out, and it's gonna be an interesting offseason. That's all I'm allowed to say. But it's gonna be a very interesting offseason, and I can't wait for the offseason. So, but no, we're gonna ride it out. I'm gonna pick Florida to win this game this tomorrow, but who knows at this point, man? I wouldn't be surprised if we lose either. So, but I'm gonna bring where is he? Yeah, 15. Start. Wait, there you go. Start Mertz right there. Start Mertz. Yes, yeah. There you go.
I still find it funny as hell that guy.
Yeah, Samar James right next to it.
Smushed all three of the autographs together. I was so disappointed when I saw.
I know. I got Slicky Ricky right here, and I know Samar went right on top of Graham Mertz, but Graham's on top there though. But yeah, man, start my quarterback. I told him, I met him last the bye week before Georgia, and I said, you're amazing. So now he proved me wrong last year. Graham Mertz proved me wrong last year, and I have been behind him ever since, along with Grant here. But it's you know what, man? I'm not on the coaching
Kyle
staff.
Trask back. Can like the Buccaneers do like a thing where they could just friggin' demote a player back to college and Kyle Trask can just be our quarterback again?
Yeah, can Kyle Pitts come back from Atlanta?
Oh my God, get all of them.
Yeah.
Get that entire 2020 team back besides Marco Wilson. Screw that guy for obvious reasons.
They did the last week they did the Gators and the pros on the screen, and they got to Marco Wilson, and there were some boos. Somebody said, "Don't show that blank and blank." So
thank you for not getting my YouTube channel demonetized.
You can fill in the blanks, but yeah, it's whatever Napier decides to do, let him do, because he's probably gone at the end of the year anyway, and that's all I can speak on that. But let's one game at this point, dude.
It ain't one game at a time. This is our last winnable game in probably quite a while. So,
oh yeah,
enjoy it, Gator Nation. Honestly, 2-2 of the first 4 weeks with this train wreck of an offensive situation. Screw it. I'm satisfied.
Oh yeah,
dead honest with you. I am satisfied. If they are 2-2 after 4 weeks, I'm satisfied.
At this rate we're going, I would be happy with 4 wins. Like,
that's true.
It's like, oh, it's so sad. But you know what, man? Let's just, yeah, this is honestly our last winnable game. I can't even say one game at a time anymore. But if we go 2-2 at the bye week before UCF, then we're here. But we'll find out tomorrow afternoon.
As I'm calling the Jaguars game on Monday against Buffalo this week, get ready for the funeral. Because this could be the Gators' funeral. I know people who root for the Jaguars and the Gators. They're about to witness 2 funerals in 2 days. I feel sorry for them. Anyways.
I'm a Giants fan, and I have to go to Cleveland.
Yeah, well, your team scores 3 touchdowns and still loses a game somehow. I don't know how the hell that happens. Anyways. Speaking of scoring 3 touchdowns and still losing, Michigan did that against Texas not so long ago, and they have now officially replaced Davis Warren for Alex Orji ahead of their game against USC this weekend, and we're gonna be recapping and predicting this game in a little bit when we get to our weekly predictions. Warren sucked. I mean, we want to bash on Mertz. We want to bash on Brown. We want to bash on Castellano. Whoa. Those guys do not play for the Michigan Wolverines. And all 3 of our quarterbacks, even Mertz and Lagway, perform better than Davis Warren. They barely escaped Fresno State, literally, if that 90-yard pick six doesn't happen, they might lose that game. They get embarrassed by Texas. And yeah, they won last week, but they didn't look impressive at all. So
you
you're
you were
sitting in that 2-1. You got to make a spark, and that's what the Wolverines decided to do.
you were so blatant for now he sucks, and you're right. Davis Warren is not a good. This is probably a worse fall off than Jordan Travis to DJU. Like honestly, like it's sad. Like, and I thought Jordan Travis to DJU collapse was bad. Now this is JJ McCarthy to Davis Warren. Listen, I don't know who their backup is. I haven't really watched any of his film or anything, but I agree with this move. Do I think it helps Michigan? We'll find out in a little bit. But this is a good move for him. And this is how you're supposed to do a quarterback swap. You bench one and you start the next one. You don't freaking hit two drives.
Only the Gators would make something as simple as a quarterback change complicated.
Oh, yeah. I said it last week. Old John Madden, if you have two quarterbacks, you have none. And that statement, that's one of my favorite quotes of ever, by the way. I have that. I'm going to print that quote out and put it on my wall. Or I'm going to leave it on Napier's door in the football center here. It's yeah, but I like this move for Michigan. I think it'll help a little bit, but we'll have to see how he looks on the field this weekend or tomorrow, actually.
And I silly me, I did not make a graphic for this. So while we're talking about quarterback switches, we could quickly just bring up the fact that Quinn Ewers is week to week. So Archie Manning's making his first start. I didn't make a slide for this because I ran out of time, but
it's all right.
I'm just going to put it to you this way. If Manning threw for 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns and ran for a 67-yard touchdown last week against a mediocre school, who did they beat last week? I was watching
UTSA.
Some of the game. That's what it was, UTSA. I was about to say,
Texas,
I was watching the first quarter when Ewers got hurt. Anyways, yeah, I mean, if Archie Manning played that well against that defense, I mean, let's not kid ourselves. They're going to kill Louisiana Monroe. They're also at home. Not that that matters, but they're a top 3 team right now. And you would be foolish whether it's Archie Manning's first career start or not. He appeared in games last year. He's thrown a couple of touchdowns now. Like, let's get this hype over with. He's finally getting his first career start in the books. He's going to dominate. He's going to throw for 360 and 4 touchdowns. This isn't surprising. This shouldn't be surprising. Again, if Quinn Ewers is back for the Georgia game, now we're talking. It's only supposed to be week to week, so we should be. But I think Texas for the next couple of weeks, they're in a relatively good spot, I'd say. Especially if they got to – I mean, realistically – they beat Louisiana Monroe, and then they beat Mississippi State next week. They have 3 straight home games, by the way. Ain't that nuts? Then you go into Oklahoma and Georgia. I would even go as far as to say if Manning plays great this week, which he should, you should also play him against Mississippi State next week. Get Ewers ready for Oklahoma. Make sure he is at 100%. I'm going to say is that. I don't know if you agree with if they should start Manning against Mississippi State or not, because they're not a slouch per se. But if you really want an opportunity to go into that back-to-back against Oklahoma and Georgia, you gotta make sure your Heisman potentially winning quarterback is at 100%.
I agree to a certain extent. Manning's obviously going to start tomorrow, and he's going to go off against ULM. But I know it's Mississippi State, but it is a conference game, right? Now, I don't know if I start Arch against Mississippi State, but if Texas gets out and they're up 28-3 early, then yeah, okay. make the switch, but I don't know if I'd start Maynard against Mississippi State just because it's a conference game, and you can't underestimate anybody in the SEC. Like, you just can't. So,
unless you're the Gators when Billy Napier's switching out quarterbacks every other drive. Sorry, it's the running joke of the show now.
I wasn't, I was trying to be positive, and then you just cut my confidence, but okay, it's you're not wrong. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm excited. I mean, we talk about quarterback greatness to fall off. I don't think Texas is going to fall off at quarterback.
No, not at all. Especially if Manning's doing this good already, regardless of whether it's against mediocre competition or not. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I mean, I figured as a college football podcast, I feel like even though we kind of know Archie Manning's going to ball out tomorrow, it's kind of like the big elephant in the room, if you will. It's like you gotta mention it, especially if we're going to talk about Michigan and Florida quarterback issues. It's like you gotta mention, Ewers is going to be out.
Yeah.
Moving on to quarterbacks that I actually despise. Both of these quarterbacks are morons. We already know Shedeur Sanders is like probably the most disliked player in college football at the moment. Oh my God. But this Colorado State quarterback, holy crap. He is also a goofball. Plain and simple, he is also a goofball. This man, Braden Fowler Nichols, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I mean, dude, you ran for 1 yard and hit Travis Hunter with the too small? What are you doing? While you're trailing by 3 possessions on top of that? I completely agree. When he said, Colorado's just a bunch of social media clicks, he was right on the button. But, dude, back up your trash talk.
Dude, I am all for players trash talking each other, especially in rivalry games like this. But if you're going to poke the bear, you better be ready to run. And Colorado State was not ready to run. Now, I agree. He is 100%. Colorado football team is just a bunch of TikTok stars. I 100% agree with that statement. And we can say that from the couch because we don't play. But, back it up, dude. If you're going to talk your crap, back it up, man. I'm all for the trash talk and the pit. But, yeah, if you run for 1 yard while trailing, I didn't even know
if you're going to throw 2 interceptions and lose 28-9 at home, buddy, I need an explanation here.
I didn't even know he ran for 1 yard and then hit Travis Hunter with the too small. I would have laughed so hard if I knew about that. That's actually you can't do that. Come on, dude. At least truck through him and get 10 or 15 before you do that. But if you can't rush for 1 yard and then kill your too small. Come on, dude. And I can't stand.
Dude, do what Mertz did last year against Missouri. Absolutely run over a dude, get fired up, and then the next play is a handoff, and you're hurting your shoulder.
Yeah, well, the adrenaline wore off, and crap, my collarbone is out of play.
That's how you do it. Now that's worth the too small. But I mean, you literally just ran out of bounds after 1 yard or two, hit him with the too small, and then threw an interception to Hunter later in the game. With all due respect to Colorado State, full irony circle.
Yeah,
and then Shedeur's I don't F with you at the end of the game. And it's that's fair. I mean,
yeah, no,
if you're going to act like an idiot, you're going to lose the respect of your opponents. So,
yeah, no, definitely. And, that's the fun of college football. But again, I love the trash talk between rivals. I love it. But if you're going to do it, you got to be prepared to do it. I would have picked Colorado State to win this game, honestly, just based off how they looked last year. But no, Dion came to play. I'll give Colorado props, and I don't like doing that, but I'll give Colorado some props. They looked amazing against Colorado State. So, but that's probably the last time you'll hear me say anything nice about Colorado. So.
Well, I mean, we don't want to talk nice about him, and we barely mentioned Colorado to begin with because we already know the media blows him up in front of your face anyway. The last thing you want to do is hear us talk about Colorado on our Instagram page. But
Yeah,
we're not stupid. We know this is why I'm not trying to bring up Colorado or Archie Manning and stuff because you guys already know that, and the hype is already consuming you. So we're not here to add fuel to the fire, but if you're like Mr. Nichols here, who clearly added fuel to the fire, you got to get called out for it. Lastly, before we get into this week's predictions, okay, listen, Drew, I get you hate University of Central Florida, but can you admit that these jerseys at least look cool? They dropped their Moonlight jerseys today. They're going to be wearing them this Saturday. They look freaking sick. Bro, you have the moon on the bottom of the jersey with like white spitting. It's amazing.
Yep, Space U, because Florida, Cape Canaveral holds the rocket launches down for. I've been down there, so it's pretty freaking cool, dude. I haven't seen a rocket go off, but I've been fishing kind of around where they launch the rockets. It's really sick down there in Cape Canaveral. But those jerseys are the ones they did last year. The baby blues were so freaking amazing with like the moon helmet. But these are, and Drew, listen, but we love you. If I can sit here and admit that Florida State's all white looks so good, then you can admit UCF's Moonlight jersey look good too. Like, come on, man. But no, dude, those are really sick jerseys. And UCF's been killing the uniform game. Usually it's Oregon. Oregon hasn't been really switching it up that much this year. They've kind of kept the same green and white. I'm a little surprised. UCF and Ole Miss. Did you see Ole Miss's new helmet?
Yes, Ole Miss's new helmet as well.
Ooh. Ole Miss and UCF have been hitting those uniforms, man. I'll tell you that. But we should do this every week. We should have a uniform.
I know. This got me the idea to like, hey, every week if there's a new like helmet or a jersey,
uniform,
we could quickly just like kind of rate them because it's news, it's stuff to talk about, and it's also good for us to post stuff like this when we film on a Friday and we kind of need content on the Instagram page throughout the week. It's like, we could just post this opinion on a helmet or a jersey. And it's like, you can post that anytime. I think these Moonlight / Space Rocket jerseys, freaking phenomenal, dude. Space is what they're calling.
Have you seen the photograph from UCF football stadium with the rocket going up in the background?
That's cool.
Have you seen that picture? I'll text it to you after the show. But it's amazing. Ooh, it's so cool. Bro, I can sometimes see the rocket.
Jersey number, it's a white with a blue outline underneath it. That is cool.
Yeah, they're if you remember their Space U uniforms last year, the all blues.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
if only Bortles could have played a game in these bad boys.
I want UCF to bring back the gold jerseys, man. They don't have the gold jerseys anymore. I miss them.
That is the Bortles era. Those to never be touched again. Sorry, as a Blake Bortles diehard, I'm a little like, no, I'm territorial with that. All right, let's get into our week 4 prediction, or rather week 5 predictions. Or no, it is week 4. What am I talking about?
With the pins, do we count week? It's
week 4. It's week 4. It's episode 5, which is always screwing me. That's been screwing me up the last couple of episodes because we filmed the week 0. So
yeah, so technically it's week 5,
but theoretically it's week 4.
It's week 4. It doesn't
Whatever
matter.
You want to determine it is. I'm just going based off of what ESPN tells me.
Yeah, week 4.
We'll make the simple English. And we're going to begin tonight. Kickoff is literally in 14 minutes. We're going to try to wrap this up so this broadcast ends by 8 o'clock so you can go enjoy 24th ranked Illinois versus 22nd Nebraska. Like I said, I was speaking to a friend who watches college football, and he said to me when he was talking all high and mighty about Boston College and why he still ranked them 25th, he also said to me he wouldn't rank Illinois in his top 40. I don't know about that one, but I think they're fine, especially since they're 24th. I really don't have an issue with this, but I mean, it's got to come crashing down anyway because they're 4 of their last 5 games. Tonight against Nebraska, next week against Penn State on the road. Then, okay, Purdue's whatever. They just lost 66-7 anyways. They're not a threat. Michigan, Oregon.
They can beat
that's 4 out of 5 that are going to be pretty tough. Now, I think Illinois is only really getting national credit because they beat Kansas. They picked off Daniels 3 times in that game. But at the same time, Kansas also lost last Friday. So it's kind of like, well, how good was Kansas?
Yeah.
This is one of those situations where I personally, just looking at the fact that 2 of their 3 wins were against Eastern Illinois and Central Michigan, I'm sorry. I'm going to give Syracuse or Pittsburgh a ranked nod over Illinois.
Right,
based off of who both teams have played, I'm going to give the nod to Pittsburgh or Syracuse here. I'm going to say one of those 2 ACC teams got gypped a little bit. But what do you think?
Well, first of all, Kyle just called you out in the chat.
He's letting me borrow in his room because my roommate's filming a podcast in my current room. So thank you,
That's
Kyle,
awesome.
for letting me film.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen Nebraska play. I haven't seen Illinois play.
Nebraska whooped Colorado 2 weeks ago. That was an ass kick.
I don't know what the hell a Fighting Illini is, so I'm gonna pick Nebraska to win this game. No, that's an honestly question. I don't know what the heck I don't even know what Illinois is supposed to be. But I want to pick the Cornhuskers, especially if this game's in Nebraska. Gonna take I'm taking Patrick Mahomes the 15th or whatever. You said the 4th or whatever, 3rd or whatever.
God. His freaking entrance. He's funny.
I'm going to go with Nebraska in this one. I think Drew's also going to take the Cornhuskers too.
Oh my God. What is this mascot, bro? What is this mascot? Are you seeing this?
Oh, I guess it's like a native thing. Okay. Interesting. It's like Florida State and freaking Utah had a baby.
Drew, for this game, told us that Raiola's going to go off. That's all he said.
He's taking Nebraska too. Yeah, I guess it's a Native American. That was an honest question. So. I really don't know what they are. But
that's interesting. So, but we are all going to pick Nebraska here.
Yes.
Like I said, Illinois is fine, and I'd probably put them in the top 30. But the fact that Pittsburgh and Syracuse have been winning entertaining game after entertaining game, and they kind of gave the nod to Illinois. It's like that rubs me the wrong way when clearly Syracuse and Pitt have played better competition.
Yeah.
Moving on to Saturday's batch now, we have 11th ranked USC against 18th ranked Michigan. Now, of course, we talked about the quarterback change for Michigan. Orgy will be getting the start. Is that a good move? Are they going to go back to Warren? If Orgy stinks, we don't know. Drew is convinced that one of my favorite names in college football, Miller Moss, is going to go off. And realistically, if Texas could beat Michigan pretty handily, I would expect USC to do the same. But what do you think, Lennon?
I think it's Miller time. The
one time Kyle doesn't have a Miller Lite in his room.
Listen, man. I think the quarterback switch that Michigan did is a good move. I don't think it's going to make any difference in how this game's going to turn out. So fight on. Trojans win this game pretty convincingly.
I was going to say maybe not convincingly, but I'll go Trojans by a confident 10-13.
Okay.
I suppose whenever Michigan would score, that would determine on whether it would be a convincing win or not. But yeah, I don't think Michigan's a team to get blown out by like 30, but I don't think
more like 27.
fine, but they might lose by like 13-17.
27.
Sure. We have another ranked matchup here. All of our games we are previewing this week, all but one team we're going to talk about today is not ranked. And it is one of our teams on the show, so stay tuned for that. But moving on to number 12, Utah, on the road against number 14, Oklahoma State. Drew expects Ollie Gordon. He is expecting Ollie Gordon to struggle. He has started off the season a little bit slow. He's going to pick Utah to win this one. Now, this one's interesting because you seem pretty confident Utah was winning despite the fact that they will be on the road. So, London's about to show off a jersey. I'm curious.
How do you know?
Because I can see the hanger, you goofball.
Yeah, Oklahoma State Cowboys for the win. Ollie Gordon has struggled, but I think this is his bounce back game. Honestly, I really do. I think I'm going to disagree with you on that one. I think Ollie Gordon bounces back hard, and Oklahoma State wins. This is going to be a good game. I'll give the Cowboys a 10-point edge, but I think Ollie Gordon's going to find his rhythm again and get back to being a Heisman favorite or Heisman contender anyway. So I'm going to break away from the picking the same teams, and I'm going to take the Cowboys to win a close one.
This is such a toughie because you really don't know, do you? This one could go either way. I do think home field advantage for Oklahoma State could certainly mean a little bit of an advantage. I don't know if it's much of one, but it certainly will be an advantage of some sort. I'll go Utah by 6, and I'm hesitant because I would not be shocked at all if Oklahoma State wins, but I will go Utah wins by 6.
Ooh. And Grant, this is a big game. This is a big game for us because we are both 12-7 at the moment.
We are both 12-7 with our predictions. Yeah, let's just say I had a great week. London did not have a good week, and I didn't have a great week too when London had a great one. So I guess kind of roles reversed there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. This game is massive for the predictions. We still got 2 more games left, but
we do.
And I think we know where you're going with this next one.
Dude.
It'll be interesting. And I'm not going to lie. This is going to be Miami's biggest test. I said it at the moment. South Florida will become a bigger test than what the Gators were week 1, excuse me. It didn't look like it at first, and I know we were both saying, oh, Florida's going to only lose by 1 possession, or Florida might win by... No. At the moment, first 3 games, this Bulls team has been the biggest threat to the Hurricanes. Now, granted, Cam Ward's coming off a 5-touchdown performance. Guys, yeah, they won 66-0 or whatever it was. It was against Ball State. At home. We talk about how hungry this South Florida team is. Almost pulling off the upset against Alabama on the road. That we talked about is a confidence booster for games like these. Miami comes into this game ranked as number 8, and I don't even know the last time South Florida beat like a top 15 ranked team, let alone a top 10. I wish Drew was here to tell us, but this game is going to go down to the wire. I'm going to go 6-point win for the Hurricanes. I can't willingly pick against Miami right now, but this is going to be a crazy defensive game. 26-20, give me the Hurricanes. This is going to be arguably the closest game of the week. It has trap game written all over it for the Hurricanes. Obviously, Drew's going to ride the bull. We already knew that was going to happen. Lennon, you are the equal decider here.
Uh, Now, I really wish Drew, because I think this would be the first time that he didn't lose his mind over a prediction I made. This game is going to be very, very, very closer than people think. I think what Grant said was 100% right, except for one thing. You got your prediction wrong, baby. I'm gonna bring out the old school Bucks jersey.
Doug Martin!
The Raymond is the only Bucks jersey I have. It's a freaking Youth XL. But yeah, go Bulls win this game. I'm riding the bull with my brother in Tampa. So we're gonna this is gonna go really good or really bad. There's no in between.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, after all your upsets failed last week, you might be in for a lucky bounce.
Yeah.
Like I said, this game is whoever wins, they're winning by a possession. This game
definitely
would not shock me if game-winning drive scenario wins the game.
Wouldn't
definitely shock me at all. Do not underestimate South Florida's defense. As long as South Florida does not perform like how they performed in the third quarter against Alabama, they are fine and they have a very good shot at winning. Both these teams are coming off pretty convincing wins against pretty whatever opponents, so it'll be interesting. Florida has to make the short travel, so we will see. Man, so I'm the only one here that's just gonna. I feel so bleh. I'm picking the favorite. Why are you guys making me look smart? Anyways, last game of the week. Probably by far the best game if we're going off overall rankings. 6th ranked Tennessee against 15th ranked Oklahoma. Undefeated versus undefeated. I mean, we want to talk about Miami winning their game last week. Tennessee, 71-0 victory over their opponent last week. As for Oklahoma, they have looked very good, and it's going to be interesting to see how they do. They had a convincing week 1 victory. They beat Tulane in a close game. They also beat Houston. So those are two not ranked opponents, but those two teams aren't slouches either. Tulane especially. But Oklahoma, they stay at home. They don't have to travel. Tennessee was essentially a bye week for them last week. But man, that new quarterback of theirs, doesn't he look impressive?
Yes, Nico. Nico.
Let's call him Nico.
Nico. Boy, I'm excited to pick this game. I'm excited to watch this football game. This is honestly probably going to be the game of the year contender. All right. This will be Tennessee's first true test to see if the Vols are really like that. As a Florida, I hate the University of Tennessee, and I can't say why. I hate Oklahoma. So, if they both want to lose and struggle, that's fine, but this is probably going to be a very high-scoring football game. I think Drew's picking the Vols. I think he said Rocky Top in the chat, so I'm going to –
He did. He's picking Tennessee.
I'm going to go to hell for doing this. I'm sorry, Florida. Let's go. Go Vols. Go Vols. Tennessee by 1 million. This game will not be close. Give me the Volunteers by 4. No, I'm just kidding. This game's going to be close, but Tennessee by 1 million, though. Go Vols. I got to stop saying that. I'm going to get okay, Boomer Sooner. Okay. Boomer Sooner.
Give me Sooners by 3. Let's go. This Tennessee
right.
defense is no joke. But who the hell have they played so far? Absolute scrubs. Rock bottom losers. Let me tell you something about the Oklahoma Sooners. This rushing attack is deadly. I have a feeling if Oklahoma can get their run game going right out of the gate, they'll be in a good spot. Jackson Arnold has already thrown 7 touchdowns this year. He has a completion percentage of 62.8, the highest of his career thus far. I'm putting my faith in him and Jackson Arnold and their leading receiver, Deion Burks, who already has 3 touchdowns on the year, to give the Sooners the win by 3, 27-24, in what would be the best college football game of the season throughout the first 4 weeks. Boomer Sooner. That's what they say, right?
Yes.
I don't sound like an idiot.
Yeah.
Boomer Sooner, baby. Give me the Sooners by 3. That is a ballsy prediction. But you want to know what? My Gator little heart will not willingly root for Tennessee. So there you go.
Dude, listen, I just played fucking Rocky Top wearing all Gator gear. How do you think I feel? Okay, I don't want to hear it.
I would personally not take that level of disrespect. I mean, I kind of just did, but whatever.
So you're calling on good old Rocky Flop, huh? Good old Rocky Flop.
Rocky Flop. I will. Okay, no, I think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
hope the
going to be a
Vols
big game. But I will say it was week 4 last year where Florida exposed Tennessee.
Tennessee hasn't won the swamp since 2003.
Ranked opponent. Not really a trap game because these are 2 top 15 teams, but I'm going to pick Oklahoma, and I'm gonna stand by that. I personally I didn't want to pick South Florida because I knew I was picking Oklahoma, so I didn't want to have 2 upsets. If I'm going to be completely honest, but I think realistically, I think South Florida has a shot to upset Miami. Wouldn't really be shocked if Oklahoma beats Tennessee either.
I wouldn't either. I hope Tennessee loses, and I hope Oklahoma loses. So there you go. It's a win-win either. Not really. It's because one of them is going to win. But
that's one way of looking at it.
I think Nico's going to go off. I think Tennessee's offense can dance with Oklahoma. It's going to come down to defense, and that's why I think you could be correct, and Oklahoma's defense makes a stop, but I don't see it happen. I think Nico can make some plays, and I promise if Tennessee wins this game, I promise we will all learn his last name.
Yes, we will practice it on camera, in unison.
I don't even know. I couldn't pronounce Tua's name until he got to the league. So,
oh, I know. You need to. I was about to say the same thing with DJU, but he ain't even making the league at this point.
No, he's going to McDonald's. Put the fries in the bag,
put
boy.
The fries in the put the Baconator in the bag. Bro's working a 7 to bro's gonna be working at 8 to 4 at Wendy's, anyways. Feel bad for the guy. He's gonna be going from a Division I starting quarterback to putting frappuccinos filling up frappuccinos at a Starbucks. I am mean.
Yeah. I have just turned on the Nebraska game, and Red Nebraska's rocking, dude. Sold out. This is about to be a really great game.
Well, let's get off this so I can quickly run back from Kyle's room to my room, only 3 doors down. Don't matter. I have college football to watch. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. Hopefully, we'll get Drew back for week 5 next week. Hopefully, we will also film it before Friday. Should be available Wednesday if all goes well. All I know is I'm busy on Tuesday, and I would preferably not want to film on Monday because, as I mentioned previously, it's going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars funeral. So, rip to our season. Anyways, Me and Lennon can just suffer with our 0-2 garbage ass NFL teams. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. Go check out college football tomorrow. Oklahoma, Tennessee, Miami, South Florida. Right now, Nebraska, Illinois, like there's good games on. If you want to see some tremendous jerseys, turn on Ole Miss, turn on Boston College, turn on UCF. Oh, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, and we'll catch you guys next week for Week 5 predictions and Week 4 recaps.